Hello everybody, and what is going on, FG fam? We are back with another episode, the final episode of the Cincinnati Bengals franchise here on Madden 21 Next Gen. I have this series and the Rams series that were kind of just left without any real ending, so we're going to put those together for the next couple of weeks. We're going to have this as the final episode of this Bengals franchise, and we will have a couple of Rams episodes before that is wrapped up. So let's get into it. Drop a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel for the love of franchise content. We will have a Madden 22 franchise when that game drops later this year. There's a touchdown for the Bengals playing against the Ravens in the opener of this season. Remember, we left off after a wild offseason, and then here's Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. Good play down to the 9 in the third quarter. It's just an 8-point game in this one at the moment. Bengals looking to score and extend the lead. They would win 20-17. And as you can see, I did not play for the rest of the season. Simulated every single game, just be playing Madden far too much. I've played probably about 750 hours of Madden, maybe even more, in the last 2 years, and I'm just a little burnt out on it, and I don't think 21 is a better game than 20, if I'm being perfectly honest. So there are the results of the season. Bengals go 12-4. They do not win the division. Chiefs go 12-4 as well, but the Bengals are a really good team. Lions are 14-2 and will be the 1 seed in the NFC. Now you know we're playing Madden if the Detroit Lions are that good. There's the Rams, our other franchise team. So the playoff bracket looks like so. New England will play their division rival in the Bills. Our Bengals will float into Indianapolis to try to get a big win, and it'll be Chiefs and Texans. That is our AFC. Here are the stats for the season, zoomed in just a little bit. Joe Burrow, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks on his season. Joe Mixon had 1,300 yards, 8 TDs. Ballard had 9 touchdowns. Good to see him contributing as well. D'Angelo Bernard and Christopher Meekins, both 1,000-yard receivers this year. Sad to see T. Higgins only have about 650 yards. Looking at the sack totals, didn't give up a whole lot of sacks. A lot of tackles here on the defense, and 12.5 sacks for Gerard Sands, who I do remember during the offseason live stream, I got a lot of flack for moving up to get Gerard Sands, but he was my guy, and he's been playing really, really well. So happy I was able to do that and go up and get him. Dakota Torrance also playing really, really well. 2 really good draft picks in this series. Let me know who your favorite player this entire series was in the comments below at the end of the video as we get into a playoff game against Nick Mullins and the Indianapolis Colts. Very, very interesting matchup here. Bengals will, of course, be in their color rush on the road. Nick Mullins, 31 touchdowns, 9 picks. He had a hell of a season. Absolutely incredible year for Mullins, and he starts off by getting the Colts into the end zone on their first drive of the game, and you love to see it. A touchdown for the Colts, if you're a Colts fan, but Jamal Agnew really doing a pretty nice job there and getting the touchdown. So Joe Burrow taking over with the first drive for the Bengals, and it's a handoff to Joe Mixon, which he takes up the left side for a 49-yard touchdown scamper. There it goes, 49-yard touchdown for Joe Mixon to tie it up. Now Colts with a 10-7 lead. They go jet sweep. It's D'Angelo Bernard pushed into the end zone by Justin Reed for a rushing touchdown. So D'Angelo Bernard showing off the wheels on a jet sweep. Make it 14-10. Here goes Joe Mixon on a short yardage rushing touchdown as we're getting close to halftime. and 3 rushing touchdowns for the Bengals offense in the first half. 24-10 here in the third, and Ballard getting in on it. Seems like everybody just rushing into the end zone for touchdowns for Cincinnati. Later on, third quarter, a 31-10 lead for the Bengals, and Mullins is picked off by Norton. Isaiah Norton is going to take this to the house. Reservations to Chili's for 6, please. 26-yard interception return. And it's 41-17. Later in the fourth, they go jet sweep again. This time it's Christopher Meekins who puts on the juke move, breaks a couple ankles, and scores. Nothing but rushing touchdowns by receivers and running backs for Cincinnati in this one. Taking a 48-17 lead, they would win this game 51-24, just outgaining the Colts in every facet and getting 3 turnovers by the defense. So the Colts are sent back into the locker room empty-handed. Nick Mullins a little pissed about it. The Texans upset the Chiefs, and the Bills upset the Pats, so that brings the Bills into Cleveland. We don't have to play them yet. We actually get to host the Houston Texans as the 5 seed. They are the 6th seed, and here it is. The 5, 6, and 7 in the AFC are still remaining, so we have to bring in Deshaun Watson into Cincinnati, and he has had 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on his season, and they have a 3-0 lead to start off. There's Burrow. There we go into the end zone for the touchdown. You love to see that. That is a score and an opening 1-point lead for the Bengals after their first drive before Mixon is able to follow the blocks perfectly and score again. 24-12 into the second half. Here's Burrow into the end zone, and D'Angelo Bernard will score. Touchdown for Bernard, and it is 30-12. So 31-12 in the game. Then later on, it's 34-12. Here goes Mixon again. He gets right by big play Slay, who is now a Texan, and Joe Mixon will score the touchdown to extend the Bengal lead even further. It ends up a 40-21 victory. Bengals did not throw a ton in this game, didn't really need to. 250 rushing yards. Turnover battle was a wash, and Burrow, Fred Warner, and J.C. Jackson into the tunnel together, and it'll be another date with the Cleveland Browns. It seems like every postseason we have a meeting with the Cleveland Browns, and we will do it again as we have to go into Cleveland for the AFC title game. Here it is. Baker Mayfield looking to defend his home turf again, as we always tend to have to go into Cleveland for this battle. The first one we lost. We won the next one en route to a Super Bowl, and now we will do it again for a third time. 42 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Baker Mayfield, who had an incredible season this year. MVP-type season. And Joe Burrow and his offense with the ball here. That's D'Angelo Bernard, and I do not think anyone's going to be able to give him chase. That is a touchdown for Bernard. Extra point would be missed. It is 6-3 with 9:22 to go in the half. Baker going deep. It's tipped. It's intercepted. Here comes Isaiah Norton the other way. He makes a turn to the right. He cuts through the offense, and it is just an offensive guard. Actually, a tackle. That's Jedrick Wills. He will not catch Isaiah Norton. And a reservations to 6 for Chili's. Isaiah Norton with one of the better interception returns for a touchdown I've seen in a while. 92 yards to give the Bengals a 16-6 lead. Here's Baker, and again he's picked off. It's Jair Alexander, and Alexander will score as well. 2 pick sixes in the game for Baker Mayfield. Browns defense was keeping them in this game. The offense actually lost it for them. 26-13 the final score. You can see not very high offensive numbers for either team, really, and a lot of turnovers up on that board. Browns sent home empty-handed. The Bengals into the Super Bowl, and it would be the Arizona Cardinals who upset the Dallas Cowboys 35-32 on the road in a very hard-fought game. So, Bengals Cardinals in the Super Bowl. Let's see how this one will fare. Can the Bengals get their second championship of the series? Their second ring for Joe Burrow, for Joe Mixon. It'll be nice to see some of the rookies taste some victory as well. Let's see. Kyler Murray, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions on his season, and obviously an MVP-type player for the Cardinals. Definitely a very important player for them. Here's a big throw for D'Angelo Bernard to make a nice catch in the breadbasket and outrun everybody on the Cardinals defense for a touchdown. There it is, baby. D'Angelo Bernard opening up the Super Bowl with some fireworks. So, Cardinals later on with a 4-point deficit will take a touchdown run to take their first lead of the ball game. And the Cardinals aren't going anywhere. They're a good football team. 2-minute warning in the first half. Now just 30 seconds to go. Bengals trying to put up some points before the half. Look at this. Wide open T. Higgins. You cannot leave him that wide open. 17-13 would be the score at the half. Coming out into the second half, Burrow sacked. He fumbles. It's picked up by the Cardinal defense, and this could get taken all the way to the house. I think someone else has reservations for Chili's. There it is, the scoop and score for the Cardinal defense. And that is going to make it 20-17 Arizona. Bengals get the tie at 20. Arizona's next possession. There it is, Kyler Murray, the D-hop for the touchdown. And this game gonna come down to the wire. Here's the Bengals on their next possession. It's Joe Mixon. He gets to the outside and takes the corner for the touchdown. Joe Mixon's first running touchdown of the Super Bowl ties it up at 27. Here's the Cardinals. Look at this. Part the Red Sea for them. And a really nice juke move to score the touchdown. An injury off ball on the Bengal defense, but here's their next possession. They will score with Joe Mixon. And his second rushing touchdown of the night ties it up. He has tied it up twice with a rushing touchdown. Now, not a lot of time to go. Bengal defense did get the stop. Now the offense has to get the job done. There's Joe Burrow with a beautiful run down the right sideline. 25 seconds remain. It would be a last-second field goal, and it is good for Joey Sly to give it a 37-34 victory. A last-second Super Bowl win for the Cincinnati Bengals. Houday Nation, how you feeling? Let me know in the comment section below. That is 2 championships, 2 Super Bowls in this series for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow tasting victory a couple of times here, but that is not all we have in this episode. There is more to talk about as you see the final results in the bracket. So a look at our final roster here in this game, and Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, obviously D'Angelo Bernard's probably one of my favorite players. I do like Christopher Meekins quite a lot as well. You can see we built the offensive line. Unlike the real Bengals, we built the offensive line pretty well. I do like me some Gerard Sands, who ended up being an X-Factor player. Jordan Brooks, who he signed. Fred Warner was a great pickup. Dakota Torrance is a great player, in my opinion. Love him as well. Jesse Bates, we were able to keep the whole series. Isaiah Norton, I love on this team as well. And then after about 10 seasons, we simmed 10 years, Joe Burrow still on the team with a Freight Train X-Factor. Team looks a little different, though. There's D'Angelo Bernard, 83 overall at 35 years old, but I love me some D'Angelo Bernard for sure. Then you can continue looking on. Gerard Sands still on the team. He's got the Blitz X-Factor, a 97 overall. Dakota Torrance still on the team, 81 overall. And they got rid of just about everybody else, unfortunately, including our safeties. Reuben Hart's still the punter there. So we'll take a look at these results here. And this is The Bucks losing to the Ravens. Lamar Jackson getting the Super Bowl MVP. We're working our way backwards. Here is Lamar Jackson getting regular MVP. Pat Mahomes with the MVP. Bucks lost 2 Super Bowls in a row there. Ravens lost a Super Bowl to the 49ers. A little revenge for the blackout game as the 49ers get themselves a championship. Joe Mixon was a Super Bowl MVP for them. You can see here, Joe Burrow and our Bengals get another Super Bowl win, so make it 3 times for our Bengals with a 27-10 win over the Seahawks. So Burrow tasting championships 3 times. That's actually pretty damn good career, honestly. Sebastian Jacobs and the Buccaneers do win a Super Bowl 27-21 over the Chiefs in this series. So they did lose one later on, but they got that one earlier. The Panthers become Super Bowl champions with Brian Burns as the Super Bowl MVP as they beat the Texans. Then this was the one that we just did, which we won 37-34. Joe Burrow was MVP in that one as well. So Joe Burrow, a 2-time Super Bowl MVP and a 2-time Super Bowl champion that we know of. We're going to go back and take a look at the older one as well. Rams obviously won the Super Bowl before this. We weren't able to get there. We lost to the Bills in the championship game. They ended up losing the Super Bowl. The Panthers beat the Raiders in the 2033 Super Bowl. 2032 was Washington over Buffalo. So Buffalo lost a couple of Super Bowls in this series. But they were able to win one, and that was over the Saints. So there we go. We get the full story now as we continue on and look back. So hopefully you enjoy this little look at how many teams were able to win championships and what all the Super Bowls were. We can't obviously go back to the older ones, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a bummer. We can't see the first one that we won because this update came out later in the Madden cycle. But hopefully for Madden 22, it'll be there the entire time, and it'll be really cool to look at because I really want to get through the most seasons I've ever gotten through. But we're looking at some NFL records. Tom Brady holds pretty much all the passing ones, rushing ones. You can see Joe Mixon did make it 4th all-time in rushing. That's actually really cool. He made it 5th all-time in rushing touchdowns. Receiving-wise, nothing much really changed here. Tyreek Hill has a couple of records that he's in there for. Sack-wise, we were not able to get anybody on that list, but I didn't really think that we had anyone that worthy. We mostly just had a great defense that played well together as a team. Now we're looking at season records to see if anybody shows up on here. Don't see any Joe Mixons there. There's Joe Mixon, 2021 with 24 TDs. So he was able to make it on the rushing touchdown list, which is pretty cool. We have receiving TDs, which nobody was able to get onto that list either. Sacks in a season, you can see Myles Garrett up there quite a bit. And interceptions is just an extremely hard record to get to. Passing yards, nothing that we were going to make it to. Passing TDs, love to see that Nick Foles up there. Rushing, 258 yards for Joe Mixon. He had a hell of a game that day. I still remember that game in this series. That was quite a game. And receiving touchdowns, catches, nothing new here. Sacks, I don't see anything for us. And interceptions, nope, nothing. So taking a look at career numbers, Joe Burrow in his seasons on that list, 388 touchdowns, 151 picks, 52,000 yards. The leading rusher in the game right now has 9,000 yards, Malik Briscoe. So that means that everybody else pretty much done, including Mixon. D'Angelo Bernard, 12,977 yards in 13 years. He also had 92 touchdowns. So Hall of Fame pace, I don't know. Let me know in the comments section below. Do you think D'Angelo Bernard would be or deserves to be a Hall of Famer? There's Gerard Sands, almost 100 sacks on his career. Is that going to be Hall of Fame worthy? You let me know. Isaiah Norton was pretty high in picks there as well for a career if you take a look back and kind of pause it. Joey Sly was our kicker for a little bit, but no longer there. Looking to see punting, and I don't see our boy. Where is he? There he is. Reuben Hart. 51 average, so Nothing too crazy for Ruben, but he had his time for sure. And that brings the series to a close. Any final comments, let me know in the comments section, but please make sure you go ahead and drop a like on this. Show your undying support for the series and the channel as a whole. I appreciate you all coming through. If you want to see some more franchise, click right here to see some more franchise.